What's up, guys? This is our second week of this series we've been going through leading up to Easter. And it's also our second week of doing an online video lesson. And so last week we talked about how Jesus, he said that we were worth it. We were worth going through the suffering and the pain that he went through leading up to the cross and on the cross. And he also, we decided that he is worth it, that Jesus is worth going through some of the tough things in life and some of the hardships because he is there with us through it. And so we're continuing that discussion today on these weeks leading up to Easter. So I wanted to share a story. I remember when I was in high school, I took a cooking class. And in this cooking class, we made muffins this day. And so I had baked my muffins, put them in the oven and taken them out, and I was ready to enjoy it. It's one of those things like after you create something, when it's something you have created, you have made, you're so pumped to like show off and really enjoy it. So I took a big bite of this muffin, and as soon as I took a bite, it was all flour. And it was rough. As soon as I took a bite into it, I was coughing, and it was like, oh, I was like coughing up flour. It was bad. It was not how I wanted it to go. And so I needed my teacher to help me. I realized right away that I was not going to be a great cook someday. And so I needed my teacher to help show me how to make these muffins. I needed someone who had been through it before, who would come alongside me and help me out throughout this process. And so it's the same in life, that we need someone who can come alongside us and help us out, who has been there through it, been there, done it, and can help us out and throughout whatever it may be, a difficulty, something coming up, whatever it is in life. We just need people there alongside us to help us out. And so that's what Jesus does. We see that throughout this story. We see that Jesus, he went through suffering to be with us through suffering. And he also went through victory. He came out on the other side and had the victory to give us victory as well, to help us out in our struggles and give us that victory. And so that's what we're talking about today. And we're going to look at 1 Corinthians 15, 55 through 57. And so Paul, he writes, "Where, O death, is your victory? Where, O death, is your sting?" And it's almost like Paul is talking trash here. He's like, "Hey, death, where are you at? Where are you at, death?" And so he's talking trash, and he says, the death, or the sting of death is sin, and the power of sin is the law. But thanks be to God, he gives us victory through our Lord Jesus Christ. And we see that Jesus gives us victory, that he went through that suffering, but he came out and he was victorious. He rose from the grave, and he now lives forever. And we also know that he lives with us, and that victory is with us as well. I like Jeremy Camp. He has a song called "The Same Power." And the lyrics say this: "The same power that rose Jesus from the grave, the same power that commands the dead to wake, lives in us. The same power that moves mountains when he speaks, the same power that can calm a raging sea, lives in us." I love those words, that the power to calm seas, the power to move mountains, the power to make the dead come alive lives in us because of Jesus. The same power that was at work in him is at work in us. And when we realize the help we have, when we realize the victory and the strength we have through Jesus, it changes everything. And so Easter is this reminder of that. Easter is a reminder that Jesus rose from the dead, and he had victory over death. And he helps us have victory as well today. And so now, what do we do with this? What do we do now, knowing that Jesus, he rose from the grave, knowing that he is victorious over death and that he gives us victory? What do we need to do with that? Well, here's the thing. Revelations 3:20, Jesus, he tells this church, he says, "Here I am. I stand at the door and knock. If anyone hears my voice and opens the door, I will come in and eat with that person, and they with me." Jesus is at the door knocking, and he wants to come into our lives. He's at the door of your heart. He wants to come into your heart and do life with you. He wants to help you. He wants to give you strength, victory through the challenges, through whatever goes on in your life. He wants to be there with you and guide you and come alongside you through those processes, through those times. But the thing is, We have to do the job of opening the door and welcoming him in. We need to be the ones that welcome him into our heart because he is waiting for us. We just need to accept that invitation and welcome him in. So my question is, what is something in your life that you need help with? What is an area in your life where you need the power of Jesus? You need the victory of Jesus to help you out, to help you overcome. Because I don't know what it is for you, whether it's anxiety, whether it is the group of friends you're with, or whatever it may be. It could be a variety of things, but we all have something that we need help with, where we need Jesus to come alongside us, something that we can't do on our own, where we need his victory. Because the good news is, because he lives, he now lives in us as well. And we have that same victory today because of him and because of the cross. We just need to ask him to come into our hearts and do life with us. So I want to encourage you guys, if you haven't, download the FCC app today, right now. If you guys have it already, you can go to the Student Ministry tab and then click on 678 for our devotion for this morning. The devotion for today is based on the lesson that we just talked about, and it helps give a little further discussion and some further questions where you can think about what we talked about and really just meditate on it and talk about it with friends and family and just have a deeper discussion and engage with the text and with the lesson. So I want to encourage you guys to do that right now. Make sure you download the FCC app and do the Devo for this lesson. Hope you guys have a great Sunday and a great week. I miss you guys. I'll see you later.